And then when you have shows that are able to be that, you get shows like Blackish, which there's an episode that was basically put in the Disney vault called Please Baby Please, and I think they just went too hard on Dope 45, because if you watch it, the beginning of that season is an entire episode teaching Juneteenth. Once we got to the real life issues, they tried to say it was Colin Kaepernick and the whole kneeling thing that got it shelved. But when you watch it, I think he was just being a little too real for him, especially when they got to Lawrence Fishburne's character.
Oh,
he was like, I'm scared too. It was like, I used to watch these people be cowards with Klan hoods on. Now these biggest walk around with khakis and camera crews.
Now that's his character from Minister. That's his character from Boys in the Hood.
That's really what it felt like.
He said that he jailed that dude back.
So it's like, okay, we talking about history, and that's really what kind of started my whole Juneteenth journey, was when I saw people getting outraged about that episode. And then they're like, well, here's one that's so controversial, we're just not going to show it. The Kaepernick stuff was like 2 minutes of the entire episode. It was really just about being a Black family during that time in that presidential era, along with the kneeling athletes, and on top of everything else, and just making sure your family is okay. And then they made Kenya Barris do this whole rollout about like, we're so happy to have it unshelved. And I'm like, yeah, because if ABC or whoever's in charge was to do this rollout, that we would have lit their asses up.
Yeah. Because
you had to have a blackface to it.
Between the Juneteenth episode, the presidential episode, when they got real, they got real.
That was one of the first clips that made me watch the show.
And I was just like, yeah. And I'm like, when like they took the comedy out of it, and they just went and when Dre starts describing like when President Obama gets out the limo and he said the feeling, and I'm that like, fear. I know that feeling.
Just waiting for somebody to come snatch that away from us. Yeah.
That part was the part that got me. It's like he said for a moment, for a moment where I felt joy, I felt celebration, and then I'll follow it by fear. Like, what if this man gets taken out in front of us? What if we lose the one thing? I was like, God, this went from, like y'all said, this went from happy and good. And I'm like, good Lord, we just went to realism. And
just goes to show.
But you know the funny part about that is, Tafari, about that?
What?
Napkins got more offended than we did.
When I shared it to my page, I was like, I'll go check it out. And people's comment, people I ain't talked to since high school, it's not that serious and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, do you see the title of the show is called Black-ish?
Right. But
then, which even with a title like that lets you know, hey, y'all can talk about history in Juneteenth. If you get too real, there's still somebody who don't look like it's at the top that can go over there. That makes me uncomfortable.
Right.
But had the nerve to complain about it. Like, this doesn't apply to you.
I mean, you ain't say nothing when you've had Bibles as presidents. When the Quran comes in, all of a sudden now y'all want to act dismissive about it.
And then
my favorite thing is, why do they play episodes like this? This just keeps division. It's like, what?
I love when Laura, I love when they say that, and I'm like, it's always funny. The rule that always divides is always the one causing division. And they get real quiet. I said, what? I got your tongue?
It's like that. It's like when Family Guy had the choir song.
Please don't free the slaves. It's a bad idea. They're trying to get back at us, and that's our biggest fear.
Hey.
Oh my God.
I'm like, whoever's in the writers room for that, thank you.
That in the episode where it opens up and they see the little crying white baby on the elevator, and Dre and Deion Cole's character and the other intern, nope, they all had the same reaction. I'm like, I'm not mad at him about the reaction at all. It was just like,
it was the team meeting. Hey, Dre, look out, somebody's laying traps.
Right.
If that wasn't
it's when Deion Cole comes in, he was like, oh, sorry, I was late. It was a little white baby on the elevator. I had to take the stairs.
That, and when the episode, he's like, you know what word I miss? Colored. And Deion Cole just pulls out a gun. So what? Yeah, man. Boondocks, Blackish. It doesn't matter how hard you go with it or how funny you make it. At some point, if they don't like it, they can still be like, shelf in the vault with the whole Disney releases.
Yet New Girl seems to be getting revolutions everywhere else.
The baby trap. Yeah, he's the baby.
Yeah, the baby trap.
The baby trap.